I'm going to talk a little bit more about using forms in HTML. So as you know, forms are written in the body section of an HTML document, and you have to give them a name. I've called mine basic form. You can call this anything you like. You could call this peanut butter and jelly or anything, noodle soup if you want. But I called it basic form. Here's the beginning of it. Here's the end of the form. Inside of the form, you've seen this before, I have an input type text. This is a little text box, and you have to give it a name. This is like a variable name. And a value. This is the initial default value. And over here on the right, you can see that it's Bob. The size, this is how wide of a text area it is. It's 20 characters wide. Anyway, there you go. So the underneath it, I've declared checkboxes. Now these are new. I have 3 input type checkboxes, and I've given them names. This is really, again, just like naming a variable. This is the name of the first checkbox. Its a variable name is liver, then PBJ, then pizza. After that is actually what you see on the screen. So liver and onions, peanut butter and jelly, pizza. You can see that that's what actually shows up on the screen, but the variable names of these checkboxes are liver, PBJ, and pizza. Underneath it, I have a button. You've seen buttons before. The value of the button is what shows up on the screen. The value of this button is submit. And when you click it, it runs a function called food. Underneath it, I have another button, and this is a reset type of button. This is a special kind. If you make a button and you say its type is reset, what happens is when you click it, it'll refresh the page to its initial values. So you can see if I click a couple of checkboxes, and instead I change the name to Haas, and then I hit reset, it resets it. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It resets it to its initial values. Anyway, let's take a look at the function food. Actually, let me run it first. So let's say I change the name to Haas, and I click peanut butter and jelly and pizza. Those are the foods that I like. If I hit submit, it says your first name is Haas. Well, I guess it said enter your first name, but whatever. You like 2 foods. How did it know? And then it says the foods you like are peanut butter and jelly and pizza. So it recognized what I checked. That's what we want. And notice I'm not using an alert box here. See that little question mark? This is a confirm box. Please click OK if your information is correct. So if I click OK, it says your information is correct. That's great. If I had clicked cancel, it tells me something different. Please correct your information, and presumably I could then correct information and resubmit it. So let's take a look at a couple of things. First, how did I know which check boxes were clicked? And let's go up to now of course, if this all takes place in the function called food, if I scroll up to the function called food, you can see here is the function called food. The first thing I do is I define a local variable. Username is a variable that only exists inside food. This is like a script variable in BYOB. So my local variable username, I'm setting it to basic form.firstname.value. Now this should be very familiar to you. Basically, I'm just getting the value that the user typed into this box. It is located in the form called basic form. The name of that variable is first name, and I'm getting its value. And if you want to scroll down again, remember the name of my form was basic form, first name, value. I'm getting the value of whatever was typed into that box. And I'm putting it into this local variable. Then I've declared a couple of other variables. Selected foods I've declared, and I've set it equal to nothing. Number of foods I've set equal to 0. So how do I figure out what the user has checked? Well, it's pretty simple. Again, the form name is basic form dot liver. Remember, liver was the name of this checkbox. And dot checked will just return a true false value. If it's checked, it's true. If it's not checked, it'll return false. So I could say if basic form.liver.checked equals true, but that's redundant. I can really just say basic form.liver.checked. That will in fact be true or false. So if they check that box, then I'm adding to this this variable selected foods the liver and onions, because that means they checked the box called liver and onions. \n, by the way, creates a new line in an alert box, an alert window or a confirm window. So if they checked liver, I'm adding liver and onions to the selected foods, and I'm incrementing the variable number of foods like. starts at 0, so I'm adding 1 to it. Same thing again, if they checked PBJ, I'm adding peanut butter and jelly with a new line to selected foods, and I'm incrementing foods that they like. Same deal with pizza. So notice I'm using 3 if statements here. I'm not using if, else if, because it's possible that they could have checked all 3 of these things. So I want to check to see which of the check boxes they actually clicked and checked. Again, the syntax is very specific. The name of the form, the name of the checkbox, and then the word checked will be true if it's checked, false if it's not checked. And so again, the name of the form, the name of the checkbox, liver, PBJ, or pizza in this case, and then checked will tell me if it's actually been clicked or not. So if it's been checked, I'm incrementing the number of foods and adding the foods that they like. Then at the end, this is something a little bit different as well. I'm using a confirm window. So a confirm box has, and I can run it again actually. Let me hit submit. The confirm box, it's different than alert. It allows you to either click OK or cancel. Now if you click OK, the value returned by the confirm is true. So here I'm running the confirm box, the confirm pop-up, and it says your first name, and I'm pasting the variable username, a bunch of line breaks, new line, the number of foods, obviously we counted up the number of foods, and then the selected foods, of course, I talked about that before. And then I'm telling them to click OK if the information is correct. So as I said, a confirm box will return the value true if they click OK. It will return the value false if they click cancel. So that's why I'm setting this variable answer to the result of what they clicked. In other words, answer will be true if they clicked OK. Answer will be false if they clicked cancel. And underneath, I'm just saying if answer equals true, alert, hey, your information is correct. And I could have other code here too. I mean, I could force them to retype things in a form or something like that. Otherwise, I have an alert here which tells them to correct the information. This is redundant as well. I could just say answer, because answer will be true or false. So I hope this makes sense to you. This is how I really wanted to get across how check boxes are used and how the confirm is used as well. So I hope you watch the next video, because I'm going to go into different types of inputs in a form. All right.